Yikes! I'm taking this to the airplane. I can't believe it.
It's physics, math, and engineering. Machine it, draft it, build it, test it, break it. Every time something new gets built, the entire world advances. Laying in bed at night, it's designing new parts, designing new suspension, designing new wings.
All right, guys, I'm actually got two sets of emotions going on. One, I'm kind of bummed out because I'm retiring Turbulence. But I'm also kind of excited because I'm retiring it to somewhere amazing. The EAA Oshkosh reached out to me and asked if I was really going to put another $500,000 used motor into Turbulence and keep playing it, or if they could give me a tax donation contribution and have me donate it to the EAA Museum in Oshkosh. All things come to an end, and I think it's time. Rather than putting $500,000 more into Turbulence, let's build some other aircraft. So I'm super excited, and it's going to be emotional. Ron's holding the camera. We've loaded up the best Tugs, truck and trailer, and we are going all the way across the country to Rochester, Minnesota, where Turbulence went down for its last flight. We're gonna go pick it up, disassemble it, load it on this trailer, and haul it to Oshkosh, where we hope to do a really cool display. Ron and I are hitting the road, 23 hours of drive time to take apart Turbulence and retire it to the EAA Museum. Let's go! Back to work. It is Casper, Wyoming, about 0 degrees. We're on our way to get Turbulence, who has been abandoned, sadly, in the middle of Rochester, right? Rochester for way too long. So,
it was really cold there.
yeah, let's go give Turbulence a new home. Back to work.
Back on the road.
Back on the road. All right, we're on our way to get Turbulence, but we saw signs for like 200 miles about wall drug, and I've seen it driving through. I've never stopped. This town is so cool. Of course, it's freezing cold. There's no one here. But if you want to buy a trinket, a widget, a gadget, a souvenir, I've never seen so much awesome crap in my life. You put on a whole cowboy outfit, boots, and then buy every little widget that you can imagine. This place is crazy, super cool. I'm gonna have to come back. My wife will want to stay here forever, so I'll need to send her alone. All right, guys, this is the day. I'm cutting the tail off Turbulence, and it sucks. It's also kind of cool because it's the end of one of the most exciting chapters of air racing and flying of my entire life. Yes! We just landed, the first one in. I just shut down. Second guy's flying overhead right now. I'm super excited. The only solace I get in retiring the aircraft is that I get to donate it to the EAA Museum, where we can put it on display, see if we can make something really cool and interactive for the kids and future pilots of our country, and I'm really excited about it. So I had an option. The motor for this aircraft new is approaching $1 million. A good used motor, $500 to $700 if it's overhauled. And I have a lot of other airplanes I want to build. And while I was weighing the options of buying a new motor and getting it put back together, I got a call from the EAA, some gentleman there who said, you know what, Turbulence would be the perfect contribution to the Experimental Aircraft Museum. I thought, you know what, if there was ever a time to retire it, now would be the time. And since they would like it, I'm super excited to be donating it to the museum and setting up a display. So today, I'm cutting the tail off, which means it'll never fly again. So that kind of sucks. Its last flight was from 28,000 feet, dead stick in IMC to about an 800-foot ceiling. So I'm glad it made it here. We rolled off the taxiway to a stop with a cabin full of smoke and concerned it was on fire. Thank goodness it wasn't.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Also, if you haven't already done it, pick up your PlaneTag, a piece of Draco, the plane I crashed by making one bad choice in a bad windy day. We hope you can pick one up for yourself, for other people you love in general aviation, so that every time they grab the key to their favorite plane and start that plane up, they're holding a piece of the plane I wrecked by making a bad decision. And remind them who's waiting for them to come home. Make good choices. Flying can wait. And also, by buying that tag, you're giving money back to the Patey First Flight program to help people who may not be able to afford general aviation get their first start, their first flight experience. We love you guys. We appreciate it. Check it out, MikePatey.com. Back to work.
Once I cut this, that's it. It's never flying again. And why would I cut it off? Well, I need to get it on this trailer. So I'm going to cut the tail off, and I'm going to do it in a way, if it goes well, so I can bolt it back together. So I've brought some carbon fiber, some resin, some wood, and I'm going to make it so I can cut it off, part it apart, put the tail in a U-Haul truck I just rented, get a boom forklift, pick up the plane, turn it sideways, run the wings end to end, because these wings are not removable. They're one piece twin spar instead of a single spar, like Legacies were built with. There's no seam in them because I needed the strength to get that extra 100 knots out of this plane. I couldn't use a standard wing. So I'm going to run the wing down the whole trailer, put part of the airframe off the one side, part off the back. I just finished all my paperwork for a wide load permit, and then I'll put the tail in the U-Haul, all the rest of the parts. And I got an engine coming from Covington, all dressed up to look nice and new. We'll put it back in the plane, give us something to mount a propeller to it. And then we'll see what we can do about lighting it up, leaving all the avionics, everything operational, and even the gear operational, and get this into the museum. So we have a lot to do. I'm excited, heart broke, but it's going to the greatest home on earth. Thank you, EAA. Appreciate you guys wanting this aircraft, reaching out to me. I can't think of a better home but the fastest single engine turboprop currently flying in the world today, or recently flying into your museum. So we love you guys. We support you guys. Back to work. All right, I hope we got everything. Let's get started. We got a long night ahead of us. The sun's now going down. We're gonna work late, maybe through the night. We'll see how it goes. This is what we brought from home. Just trying to bring everything. Straps, blankets, the exhaust pipes, the turbulence, bunch of miscellaneous parts, tools. Yikes. I'm taking this to the airplane. I can't believe it. A bunch of miscellaneous stuff and tapes and who knows. I got sheets of plywood, foam boards, blocks, fixtures to put it all back together. I'm excited. It's gonna be a long night. Let's go, back to work. All right, we ran into our first little snag. If I push this little switch, nothing happened. Pulled the motor off and had to unhook a bunch of the harnesses out front. When the motor exploded, it blew a hole through the can and it sheared a wire harness about that big in half, like completely disconnected, and nothing's working. So at this point, I've checked the batteries, they're good. We need to dive into the harness because I need to swing this gear, make sure it's working so I can tuck it up and get it on a trailer. I don't want to drain all these lines and then try and push them up and tape them in place. I want them to hydraulic lock so I can boom lift it onto the trailer. So step one, rewire the plane and make it work. Back to work. Finishing rewiring a little. I pulled out a lot of the main harnesses that I don't want power running through here with a non-functioning engine, and but I do want the lights and all the other systems to work and my 3 in the green to work on my gear down. So I've just made this little quick mini harness and I'm going to zip it with grip lock ties, hold it in place. All right, guys, we got the wire harness all put back together. So we got power, and you can hear the solenoid click. The lights come on, my Garmin's are all lighted up. Everything's good, so now we're gonna swing the gear. We got the plane on blocks, and in theory, when I swing this switch, nothing should happen. Okay, gear up, nothing's happening, because I need Ron to make the plane think it's flying. I had set up a safety switch that wouldn't let me bring the gear up if I wasn't going near rotate speed down the runway. So, Ron, simulate wind. Gear up, simulate wind. Okay, perfect, all right. Gear's up and tight. Everything still seems to be working. Light indicators are working. I've done aircraft recovery, sadly, in search and rescue. And they happen really fast because you just cut and rip and die cut everything. You're not planning on putting them back together. This one's different because I got to cut this in half here. And I've got 100 wires on this back side I need to keep connected because I got relays and solenoids and hydraulic lines and everything, the hydraulic pump that runs the gear, all on the back side here. And just to keep the Garmin system working, I need to even keep the servos for the autopilot connected or I'm gonna get big X's on the screen and I don't want that on display. So we want the Garmin screens working in Oshkosh at the museum. So what I thought was gonna be a difficult but quick job is going to turn into a more difficult, much longer job, but that's okay. We know how to work. So we got to redo some wiring, move some hydraulic lines, cut this, put some wood inserts in, put some centering pins so we can unbolt it, bolt it back together and still have the systems work. So we got a lot of wiring to do, hydraulic lines to run. I need to keep this fully operational in several pieces. Yikes, back to work. All right guys, we're getting a little bit closer. We had to relocate several of the relays, contactors, wiring in the back of the plane. A lot of the components were right where this laser line is, which is where I need to cut the tail of the plane off. Cry. So I relocated everything forward so I can cut this and put in a bulkhead on the tail and a bulkhead on the front that can then be bolted together to reattach it. I just retested the gear, everything's still working with all the wiring redone and all the controls move forward, hydraulic lines move forward. So I can now cut off the tail. Everything is disconnected on the back. I'm gonna mask it off. I've got this lift just holding the tail up so I could get it perfectly level to set a laser line on my cut. It would drive me nuts if it was leaning. So I leveled the plane, we'll cut it here, Obviously, I can't cut it with the tension of that up there. So once I get this masked off and ready to cut, I'll lower it back down into a neutral state, block it neutral, so when I cut it, it's not on a bind. So let's tape it off, cut it, back to work. I don't think I want to cut through this with a Sawzall. Oxygen out. Do you think it'd be a problem if I flip this little switch? They'll come find us. Ooh, we get some free help. Alright guys, there's no turning back. I mean, pretty much anything I could have put back together, but at this point, I'm halfway through the airplane, excited and totally heartbroken, but this is the right thing to do. I am so excited to put this in a museum, take the money I would have put into getting this back together, put it into a adventure helicopter BO-105 to go to Alaska, and an Albatross, and a couple of Cubs, and Draco. Let's build some more planes, retire this one, put it in the museum. Guys, I hope, if you go to Oshkosh, go say hi to my little baby. Let her know it's loved. And, oh my gosh, so far the cut's going perfect. We're gonna be able to put it back together. I'm just gonna do a seam decal. I picked up the stickers of each of my colors, so I'll get it to bolt back together and seam the joint back in. So far so good. Let's hope the other side goes well and that nothing comes detached quickly and causes a problem. Hopefully I got it braced up right. Back to work.